Listening is a superpower, and in this episode, we will work with AI to teach us the principles of great listening. We will use the most advanced AI model in the world, GPT-4, to put us through a role-play scenario and then give us advice on how we can improve. Let's learn together and make you more influential and effective. Here is my initial prompt to the AI. Act as a world-class communication expert. I need to get better at listening and empathy. First, I would like you to tell me a bullet list of principles on how to be a better listener and show empathy. Then after you tell me the listening principles, I would like you to create a role-play game where you coach me through listening. You will present a scenario, and then I will ask questions back to you to show my listening approach. When I ask questions back to you, you will provide feedback on what I did well and what I can improve. Are you ready to help me?
Of course, I'm here to help. Principles of being a better listener and showing empathy. Give your full attention. Focus entirely on the speaker. Avoid distractions and multitasking. Avoid interrupting. Wait until the person has finished speaking before you respond. Open body language. Face the speaker, maintain good eye contact, and keep your arms and legs uncrossed. Validate feelings. Acknowledge and validate the speaker's feelings, even if you don't necessarily agree with them. Ask open-ended questions. This allows the speaker to expand on their thoughts and feelings. Reflect and paraphrase. Repeat back what you heard in your own words to ensure understanding. Avoid giving unsolicited advice. Unless asked, don't jump to solutions. Many times people just want to be heard. Practice patience. Give the speaker the time they need to express themselves, even if they're struggling to find the right words. Empathetic responses. Respond in ways that show you understand and share their feelings. For example, "That sounds really tough. I'm sorry you're going through that." Manage your reactions. Be aware of your own emotions and reactions, and avoid becoming defensive or making the conversation about you. Seek clarification. If you're unsure about what the speaker is saying, ask for clarification rather than making assumptions. Remember, nonverbal cues. Listening isn't just about words. Watch for facial expressions, body language, and tone, as they can provide more insight into the speaker's feelings. Now, are you ready to begin our role-play game? If so, we can start with a scenario where I'll be the speaker and you will practice your listening and empathetic skills. Afterward, I'll provide feedback based on your responses.
Yes, I'm ready. Let's go.
Great, let's get started. Role-play scenario. I'll play the role of a close friend who is feeling overwhelmed at work. Here goes, me, friend.
Hey, I've just been feeling so swamped at work recently. It feels like my boss keeps piling more tasks onto my plate, and I can't catch a break. Sometimes, I just want to walk out and never come back. It's been affecting my sleep, and I can't even enjoy my weekends anymore.
Now it's your turn to respond using the principles we discussed. Go ahead.
Your job sounds really frustrating and overwhelming. Tell me more about what your boss is doing to overwhelm you.
Thank you for understanding. Well, every time I finish a project or task, instead of acknowledging my efforts, he just hands me 2 more projects. There's no communication about priorities. It's like everything is urgent all the time. I've tried talking to him, but he just says that it's all part of the job. I'm starting to doubt my ability to handle things, even though I've been in this field for years.
Feedback. What you did well. You started with an empathetic response acknowledging my feelings, which is great. You asked an open-ended question, which gave me an opportunity to expand on my feelings and situation. Areas of improvement. You might want to use reflective techniques in the future, like paraphrasing, to ensure you truly understand what the other person is expressing. For example, so you feel like no matter how much you accomplish, there's always more waiting for you without any recognition. Would you like to continue, or would you prefer more feedback and guidance?
That was really good. Let's continue, but please instruct me on what we should do next.
Thank you for your enthusiasm and openness to learning. Next steps. Scenario. Evolution. I'll expand the scenario, introducing more emotional nuances or situations. This will give you the chance to navigate the conversation with a mix of listening skills. Practice reflective listening. Given the feedback, I'd like you to focus specifically on using reflective techniques this round. Try to paraphrase or summarize what I say to ensure you've understood it. Ask questions that encourage deeper reflection. You can ask questions like, "How does that make you feel?" or "What would an ideal situation look like for you?" Continued role play scenario. Me, friend.
I've even thought about looking for a new job, but the thought of starting over somewhere new is intimidating. Plus, I've built relationships here and know the ins and outs of the company. But sometimes, the stress feels like it's just not worth it. Last week, I even missed my daughter's recital because of an unplanned late meeting. It broke my heart to see her disappointment.
My heart would be shattered too if I missed my daughter's dance recital for a meeting. What would be a better environment at work if you could keep those great relationships but change other things?
Thank you for understanding how I feel. Ideally, I wish there was better communication and respect for personal time. If tasks were prioritized and deadlines were realistic, I could manage my time better. It's not about working less, but working smarter. The relationships I've built are important to me, but so is my family. I wish there was a balance.
Feedback. What you did well. Your empathetic response about understanding the feeling of missing a significant family event was very genuine and connected well with the emotion in the scenario. Your question guided the conversation towards a solution or a visualization of a better situation, which is a good technique to empower the speaker to think of positive changes. Areas of improvement. You did a fantastic job with your response. Just remember to consistently use reflective techniques throughout the conversation. For instance, summarizing the main points before moving into solution-based questions can further emphasize your understanding. Would you like to tackle another scenario or further discuss the techniques?
This is very helpful. Let's go with a new scenario.
All right, I'm glad you're finding this helpful. New role play scenario. This time, I will play the role of a younger sibling who is feeling overshadowed by the achievements of an older sibling. Younger sibling.
You know, sometimes I just feel like I'm living in the shadow of Alex. Everywhere I go, teachers, friends, and even relatives always talk about how amazing and accomplished Alex is. I mean, I'm proud of them, but it makes me wonder if anything I do will ever be enough. It's like I'm constantly compared to this standard I didn't even set for myself.
Your turn to respond. Remember to use reflective listening, show empathy, and encourage deeper reflection.
I understand how invisible you must feel sometimes if all that you hear about is Alex. You have to focus on yourself sometimes and live a life that's right for you and be proud of your journey. What kind of standards do you set for yourself?
Thank you for seeing how I feel. I guess I want to be recognized for my own passions and interests, not just in comparison to Alex. I love art and writing, and while they might not get the same attention as sports or academics, they mean a lot to me. I just wish people would notice and appreciate the things I'm good at without always drawing comparisons.
Feedback. What you did well. Your initial empathetic statement about feeling invisible captured the essence of the emotion expressed, and it made the response feel genuine. Encouraging me to focus on myself and be proud of my journey is a supportive and empowering approach. You successfully guided the conversation toward a self-reflective topic with the question about standards I set for myself. Areas of improvement. While you did great, remember that sometimes it's also useful to give the speaker a chance to fully express their feelings before offering any form of advice or perspective. This ensures they feel completely heard and understood before being directed towards potential solutions or self-reflection. Would you like to continue with another scenario, or would you prefer more elaboration on any technique?
What would have been a way to give the speaker a way to fully express themselves in this last scenario?
That's a great question. Allowing the speaker to fully express themselves often involves a combination of open-ended questions, validation, and reflective techniques without immediately providing solutions or personal perspectives. Here's how you might approach it. It sounds like you feel overshadowed and that there's a constant comparison to Alex. That must be tough for you. How does it affect the way you view your own achievements? By using this approach, reflective technique, you started by paraphrasing what the speaker said. You feel overshadowed, constant comparison to Alex. This shows you've been listening attentively and that you understand the essence of what's been said. Validation. The phrase, "that must be tough for you," provides validation to the speaker's feelings, making them feel understood and supported. Open-ended question. Asking, "How does it affect the way you view your own achievements?" opens the door for the speaker to delve deeper into their emotions, thoughts, and experiences without feeling rushed to find a solution. It focuses on their perspective and feelings rather than immediately shifting to advice or redirection. This approach ensures the speaker feels completely heard and validated before the conversation moves toward potential solutions or self-reflection.
This is fantastic. Before we end today, can you please tell me about how I can avoid giving unsolicited advice?
Certainly. Unsolicited advice is advice that hasn't been asked for, and while often given with good intentions, it can sometimes make the recipient feel invalidated, unheard, or overwhelmed. Here are some strategies to avoid giving unsolicited advice. Practice active listening. Focus primarily on understanding the speaker's emotions and thoughts. Often, people just want to be heard and understood, not immediately provided with solutions. Ask before advising. If you feel you have helpful advice, simply ask, "Would you like some advice or suggestions on this?" This gives the other person the power to decide if they're in the right mindset to receive it. Reflect and validate. Instead of jumping into advice mode, try reflecting back what the speaker has said and validate their feelings. For example, "It sounds like you're really overwhelmed with this situation. That must be tough." Open-ended questions. Encourage the speaker to explore their feelings and thoughts more deeply by asking open-ended questions. For example, "How do you feel about that?" Or, "What do you think might help in this situation?" Share similar experiences. Without prescribing, instead of saying you should do X, try sharing your experience in a similar situation without implying they should do the same. "When I faced a similar situation, I tried X, and it helped me. But everyone's different." Be aware of assumptions. Remember that you may not have the full picture or all the details. What might seem like a straightforward solution to you could be more complicated for the other person. Check your intent. Before offering advice, ask yourself why you want to give it. Is it to genuinely help the other person, or is it to feel wise, superior, or needed? Understand the impact. Realize that unsolicited advice can sometimes make people feel criticized, incompetent, or defensive. Be sensitive to how your words might be received. Offer support. Instead, often, what someone needs most is not advice, but support. Phrases like, "I'm here for you," "I believe in you," or "whatever you decide, I'll support you," can be more comforting than any advice. Learn from feedback. If someone indicates that they didn't appreciate the advice, don't take it personally. Use it as an opportunity to improve your communication skills. Remember, it's natural to want to help when someone is sharing a problem or challenge, but sometimes the best way to help is just to listen and be there.
This was a fantastic session. I'm going to turn this transcript into an audio file to post. Can you give the listeners a quick outro on why the techniques we discussed will make their life better if they master them?
Today, we delved deep into the nuances of effective listening and empathy, core components of healthy and productive human communication. But why should mastering these techniques be pivotal for you? Firstly, truly hearing and understanding others fosters deeper connections, enriching both personal and professional relationships. When people feel heard, they feel valued. Secondly, effective listening reduces misunderstandings and conflicts. It's a proactive approach to problem solving, where many issues can be addressed or even prevented at the initial stage. Furthermore, empathy allows us to connect on a profound emotional level. In a world that often feels divided, the power of empathy bridges gaps, promoting unity and mutual respect. Lastly, these skills enhance your personal growth. By genuinely listening and showing empathy, you not only improve your interactions with others, but also gain insights into diverse perspectives and experiences. In essence, mastering these techniques is not just about bettering our interactions with others. It's about creating a more harmonious environment for everyone involved and fostering a world where understanding and connection thrive. So, as you move forward, embrace these tools and witness the transformative power they hold. Best of luck with your audio post, and remember, the journey to mastering communication is ongoing, but the rewards are immeasurable.
Thanks for taking your time for this experiment that I just ran. If you found this useful, or if you think that there's some ways that we can improve these episodes in the future, please leave a comment, subscribe, hunt around on our channel for some other videos. I'm mostly posting things that I'm passionate about: business, marketing, self-improvement. AI is one of the later things that I'm posting about here. So really appreciate your attention on this, and hopefully these videos are making you better. Thanks so much.